Hello YouTube, it's Carrie here and welcome back to Carrie's Bariatric Gardening. And we've got another tour today because things are crazy and I haven't filmed a tour in a little bit. I want to let you know what's going on over here because as you can see I have a bunch of smaller plants here, and what I'm doing right now is actually I'm hardening them off. These are my fall crops. Like I've noted before in my update, I'm going to be doing some travel soon, so I actually want to get these in the ground. And so I'm hardening them off. They're on day 3 today, so I'm just increasing it at half an hour every day. Let me show you some of what else is going on here. There's like a eggplants going on here. I'm going to harvest one. Let's see. Oh, got it. These guys, so this is like a little type of like Asian eggplant, South Asian eggplant, and I use these in Indian curries. I also use them in Thai cooking and stuff like that. Where did I? Oh, my harvest basket. And they're quite different than typical eggplants that you're used to. If you're used to sort of like a creamy centered eggplant, this is not the one for you. This is a really high fiber. It's actually really good for your digestion. All right, I'm gonna do a little thing and show you around. I've got the corn and melons over here, and like I got a lot of corn planted in there. Like I said, this was done densely, but I've been amending it, and it so far so good. It's looking all right. I think what I'm going to be doing is maybe helping it out with some hand pollination, and hopefully that'll kind of see. Look at this, isn't it just like bang? And here's a little bit of cheer. These are sunflowers here, and I'll tell you, having volunteers in the garden, what a volunteer is a plant that you didn't plant show up. And this sunflower over here is a volunteer. I did not plant this, and it is looking amazing. So like, thank you, squirrels. You know, they take it away, but they also give it sometimes. So I want to show you a little bit what's going on with the border here. It's looking really cool. Look at this. All the color is starting to come in. And so hopefully I'm angling it right so you can see this. I am waiting for this one to go. I'm actually thinking about chopping off the top so that it'll encourage the other parts to flower, but we'll see. Haven't decided yet. And then the rest, oh, I don't know how the sunflower is gonna do. Part of it was flopped over today, so we'll see. If it stays, it stays. If it goes, it goes. We'll see what happens. And this one is bloomed. And we've got some more flowers down here starting to go. I've got lettuce in here, and I think what I'm going to be doing is actually planting brassicas between it. A lot of the stuff that I'm hardening off right now, I want to plant in these beds. So there's actually some summer stuff going, there's some lettuce going, but if I plant it between it, those other ones are small seedlings now, and by the time because these are quick crop, this is like a month turnaround time, and by then it'll be flipped over to the seedlings that I'm going to be planting for fall. And so like as the leaves change and start to go away and these things start to ripen into their glory, they're going to be getting the right amount of sun with the cool weather. I think it's going to work out really well. I'm crossing my fingers on it, and you know, we'll see. Like everything is an experiment. You learn new stuff every year. So you know, we'll see. Oh, I wanted to show you like, oh, this is a little bit of a mess because I just did a little emergency transplanting. But like, these are potatoes grown from TPS, and like, TPS is potato seed. It stands for true potato seed. And as you can see, like, they're all a little bit different. And it's so funny because I thought they were all the same kind, but obviously they are not. So let's go around to the backyard and see the glory of abundance in mid-July in the garden. So here I've got apples. I don't know, I think I pruned it wrong last year, and so I don't have a huge number of apples this year. I want to move it somewhere else, but I have to think about where it should go, because I think it needs a lot more sun than where it is right now. But work in progress, that little guy. Oh, okay, so Oh, It's too bad you didn't. It's too bad this wasn't open. Next time I'll have to do it in the morning when all the morning glories are open. It looks amazing, but they close very early. When the heat of the day comes in, they are goners by then. It's like one show a day. But what I've got here is actually beans, and my beans amazingly are climbing up into the tree. And they're climbing up into the tree on this side, and they're also climbing up into the tree on the other side. So there's going to be like beans in my tree, and I'm so excited about that. The tomato jungle is a little bit tamed here, somewhat. Crostata romanesco is like doing its own thing and like becoming a monster. So I'm just gonna I moved it to where it can just go where it wants and do its thing. I've got some basil and tomato over there that's doing pretty good. This is the 898 squash. Can y'all see that? Yeah. So that is Chef Dan Barber of Blue Hill Farms. That's his variety of this mini butternut. And I've grown it once before, and I got one because I grew it so late in the season, so I had one, and it was so good. But I am getting so many this year, and I'm super excited about that. Over here, I have a lot of peppers here, and peppers can be grown a little bit closer together. You just gotta make sure that you amend them at the right time, I think, and they'll be fine. But I've got a mixed bed here. As you can see, I've got some okra there. This squash is kind of going crazy and weaving its way all over the place. I have, on the other side over here, I have actually some sweet potatoes planted. These are purple sweet potatoes I got in trade from Facebook Marketplace. And then these two sunflowers are like some kind of crazy multiflora sunflowers. I honestly wasn't really expecting multiflora. I think this is this red sunflower. I can't wait to look at like what it's going to look like when all of these blooms start opening. I think it's just going to be stunning. And it's going to bring in a bunch of pollinators, so I'm so excited about that. See if we can get a bit of a better angle there. Quite cool, I've got to say. I'm impressed. And on all these little peppers here, so I'm starting to get some like a lot more flowers underneath. And as all those flowers come in, I'm starting to get the little tiny fruit set. This one is cheripita. These will be yellow. That is actually one of like the more expensive peppers that chefs buy. So if you're looking to make like a boutique CSA or something, it would be a great one for it. I have got the cucumbers over here, and I like to do these kind of like weird looking trellises that are just made of whatever and kind of woven together because I think they add a lot of interest to the garden. I think that's really cool. I like that. The rose look like it might give another flush. Like at least there's one bloom on there, so maybe there's a couple on the bottom over there. So maybe we'll see. Little Miss Blackberry is doing really nicely, and I'm starting to get like the first ones start to look like they're ripening away on the bottom. Everything's pretty. And over here, I actually planted a bed of suckers. So this was suckers that I had. That seemed healthy that I had transplanted. They were all sitting on the front porch for quite a while, and we'll see. Hopefully things will be good. All right. Oh, by the way, got this. I had to replace the one before it was falling apart, so that had to get sent. And honestly, I would have much preferred if I could find this in a natural fiber. If anybody knows where you can find these like beach mats and stuff like that, outdoor mats in a natural fiber, let me know who's selling them. We used to get those in Europe all the time when I was a kid, and they were great. And made out of like grasses or whatever. I don't know what they were made of, but it was completely recyclable, and a little bit of material on the side, cotton. So it doesn't leave microplastics, you know. This, it says it's like UV resistant, but who knows how long it's gonna last. Squashies. So, you know, like there's still time to plant squashes, and I'm gonna harvest this right now. I'll show you. Just twist it gently, and it comes out. And I like doing these at the smaller size. I find that when they get bigger, this part here gets sort of full of seeds, and I don't really like it so much. You kind of have to core it out a little bit, so I like taking them at a small size. This I could just like slice in quarters and like, I don't know, throw it in the air fryer, grill it, throw it in a saute pan, do it. Like there's so many different ways that you can cook with that. It's amazing. Alrighty, so I've got eggplants going here. Like there's so much going on, honestly. Like it's hard. It's got a little bit hard. This sunflower looks like it's doing really well. This is in the middle of my strawberries here. I'm like, I don't even know if that's a good combination or not. We'll see. We'll see. I've got peppers here and more eggplants. This I finally organized and did it properly. So over here I have some flowers with some mixed sort of like there's morning glories and zinnias there. I've got Chinese string eggplant there and there, and it's, as you can see, it's forming the eggplants. And over here even also you can see like the little baby eggplants kind of going. And they seem to, they're like small at first, and then like overnight they'll just get long. It's really cool. These three over here are the same kind, but I'm not sure what kind they are. But they do have fruit set on all three of those. It looks like a larger one, but I'm not. That's the problem. I put tags, but like, I don't know. I always have trouble finding like tags that are actually like UV resistant and all that. I think I gotta get some copper taping or something and just etch it in and make tags like that, something like that. This is a melon, and that I'm hoping will be growing up this trellis very soon. I still have some herbs here, some basil and some mint there that can be planted in a pot. These are all cucumbers. Things are like working good. I've got peppers over here, in here, as you can see. I think these are hot Thai ones over here. I could already partly start like harvesting some of those. Inside the trellis, there's a lot going on. So this is cucumber. Over here we have bitter melon, which is actually one of the best vegetables that you can eat for stabilizing blood sugar. All the South Asian people know this, but somehow it hasn't really caught up that fast with the North American crowd. But yeah, bitter melon. It takes a while to get used to the taste, people say. I tend to like bitter flavors, so I'm looking forward to this. Over here, I've got some watermelons planted. This, I don't know, this is doing pretty good. I'm glad I tried that out. This is also a big winter squash here. And then I have Asian long beans planted over here that are climbing very quickly up the strings. It's kind of incredible to see the progression every day, how fast it is. All right, let's keep going. There's a lot here. This is my paste bed. And so this I had to do a lot of cleanup on. It was just overgrown. I hadn't dealt with it. When the problem with the virus was going on with the other tomatoes, I didn't want to touch anything here. And so I just let it overgrow itself and then dealt with it after the fact. And I had to hack at it quite a bit in order to get it back to sort of like a more organized form here. Over here, I've got a bunch of beans, and a lot of them seem to want to be climbing. So I might put some strings down for those guys to climb up. Pear seems to be doing quite lovely. And this bed over here, it transitions a lot. So on the end, what I have there right now is I planted some cucumbers that should go up that trellis. Then I have some okra to see how it does there. I also have cowpeas, which I've never grown before. I got them as a bonus pack this year, and I was like, okay. The rest of this lettuce here is all bolted. I'm not saving this seed. I'm going to be clearing this out and replanting this with new plugs that I have inside for lettuce that are ready to go. Okay. We got to talk about this. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to just get close in here with the camera because, like, can you see this thing is full of bees? Like, they love this thing. This is beautiful to me. And soon there's going to be even more, and it makes me want to grow cardoon just for the flowers because of how many bees this is attracting into my garden. Like, that's the thing, like, people talk about the benefits of permaculture and growing things together in tandem, and how one thing may draw in an insect that will benefit the whole rest of the system. And that's sort of like what I'm trying to get to in the way that I plan out my garden. These guys are doing really well. I'm going to be harvesting some of these and bringing them in. Like, these cherry tomatoes are doing, honestly, really, really fantastic. So I'm quite happy about that. Over here, I had a space that I filled in with dirt. So, like, this was where there were tomatoes I had to clear out. And I'm not growing tomatoes here, right? I'm growing other stuff here. So I planted, what did I even plant? I think I planted some melons and cucumber seed along the edge to try to see if it'll climb up in time. These are all quick varieties. You want things that are turnaround crops that are like days to maturity, you want them to be like under 60 at this point, right? So if you'll find varieties of squash, you'll find varieties of cucumber that can go like sometimes as little as 45 days to 50 days. So those are the types of varieties that you want to be looking at if you're planting stuff for quick crop right now. So that's what I've got there. I think I also put some squash seed here and there. We'll see what works and what doesn't. And here I'm actually just going to leave this plain for now. I might put some of those fall crops in here if I need room. And the rest of this is just tomatoes, the ones that managed to evade some of the stuff. But I'll show you a little bit of what you can find. Like when you grow your own tomatoes, you'll see, especially heirloom varieties, sometimes they do funky things. And so like what you're getting when you grow heirloom, you're getting like a lot of flavor, you're getting really, really great nutrition. And the reason why they don't grow these types commercially is because they're not perfect. Because they think if you see that at the store, you won't buy it. And so that's why, like, you know, it's like the industry has gone for this quest for like perfection. And like I've said, like, yeah, it's true. You cannot have perfection and abundant life in the same place. That is such a smart thing to say. Like, amen, Jessica Sowers. That's amazing. I will just keep repeating what she said. It's applicable for so many things in life. It's incredible. And it's so true. So, well, these cabbages are actually doing good. It looks like they seem to have, like, you know, somehow resisted those cabbage butterfly. Like, there's some damage on them, but, like, you know, they're doing all right. They're doing all right, and I think they're going to head up fine for the fall. That'll be like I'm guessing I'll probably get those out maybe in September, hopefully. And yeah, just things are doing nicely. So the beans pretty much are at the end. At this point, beans usually just put on one flush. It's a quick turnaround thing. Usually takes a couple of months from seed to harvest, and you get a big flush of beans. I'm going to be cooking beans later today. I will show you the Mexican bean beetle buggers. Can you see this little yellow guy here? You see him? I don't know. I don't know if you can see him. Right there. Little dude. That's the nemesis. They eat your beans. Basil and stuff. So I'll probably be clearing these beans out when they're done and probably putting in fall crops in there because I have a lot of fall crops to put in. Now, this bed here. Okay, first of all, another garden volunteer. I grew tomatillos in this bed like 4 years ago. And I got such a bumper crop that like I didn't grow them again for quite a while. Usually you need more than one tomatillo, but I do think that there might be some ground cherries here and there, and I'm not sure if those will be enough to pollinate, but I don't feel like ripping it out. I think I'm just going to keep him, even if he doesn't produce anything. It's just nice. All of this has been filled in, as you see. I'm tying up this so that I can use it as a trellis, and I planted beans here. I've also planted a whole bunch of different types of squashes here, quick squashes, summer squashes. And I will be interplanting this whole section here with the fall crops. I think this will be a good bed, especially for stuff like purple sprouting broccoli that I want to have a lot of light over the winter. And so it's kind of like more in the center of my yard and it gets more light. And so that should work out well for that. And then over here, this is the okra, and people are like, oh, do you think it'll actually turn out a crop in time? And I do think it will, because just in a matter of days, it's probably doubled in size. So I do think that as long as it's amended well, as long as, weather goes well for it, that they will actually produce well. All right, let's go to the end of this bed. So, so my tree is gonna grow beans. I'm excited. Over here, I've also got some like nasturtiums here. That lettuce that was just like tiny, a couple tours ago, that's ready to crop out. All of my tomatoes here are trellised up. I've got a Florida weave going over here and a single stem trellising over there. And then I've got some peppers over here, some peppers over there. I have got some spinach going over here. And then I've also I found some alpine pine berries, the white strawberries. And I don't know if they'll be viable, but I figured I'd take a chance and pop them in there and see if I can manage to get them to root over the season and over the winter. I've got eggplants over here. These are dwarf tomato plants. This section here is sort of like herbs and flowers, kind of a little bit more natural. And so this is the bloody dock over here, and bachelor buttons, calendula, there's lettuce going to seed, and I think I'm just going to let it go to seed. And then, more ishikura green onions, which are, really doing great, honestly. And sage. Apparently, you can use sage to brush your teeth. And apparently it has good properties to protect your gums. Learn something every day. Where did I learn that from? Maybe Baker Creek, I don't know. Okay, Ron Picante. What? This arch is just like giving me life. Like, I managed to score this piece of metal off of Facebook Marketplace. I don't know, I think I paid like maybe $15-20 for it, which you would think is like more than you would normally pay for scrap. But honestly, the fact that a guy brought it to my house and just, I didn't have to source it, I didn't have to whatever, it was convenient, and I made it totally work here. So the pots down here, I actually found people had left this in the forest behind my house, right? Like, look, I mean, it's such a nice spot there, and people just dump garbage. Anyhow, but this is from olives, bulk olives, I think, and I filled it with soil, and honestly, this watermelon is loving it. It's loving it. And I've got little watermelons starting to like form here. Oh, look at this. So I'm like, I'm excited. Over here, I've got some melons growing up the side. Mixed pots with melons, peppers, and flowers. Like, I don't know. It's giving me life. Like, we'll see what works. We'll see what doesn't work. But so far, everything seems to be working pretty good. So, like, I'm so happy. All right, and then on this side we have like beautiful Miss Rompicante, and now that I cut the big one, and it literally took me 3 meals to eat that zucchini, but these ones are starting to do really well. And as you can see, I've been purposely training it sort of back and forth up this thing, because otherwise it would have been all the way over and climbing down the side. So I'm very purposely training this. And then on this side we have the 898 squash, and as you can see, it's like doing very well. It's starting to be like very, very prolific, and I'm honestly so excited about these, because that will be a storage squash. I'll have those all winter long. I can keep them in a basket in my kitchen, hopefully. Either that or maybe in the basement where it's a little bit cooler. Yeah, no, I'm excited. So here's just a little bit of a better view of the sweet potato vines here, and then I'm gonna have long beans climbing up the vines there, and that's it. And this is going to be my tree with beans. And there should also be morning glories in there too. So like, amen to the garden. This is growing your own food is so much more than about food. It's about so much more. It's about beauty, it's about life, it's about prosperity, it's about health, it's about longevity. It's about nature and just appreciating like everything that we have around us, and truly appreciating our food too. Honestly, I don't think you absolutely truly appreciate food until you know what it takes to grow it. And I honestly say that in every sincere kind of way that I can, because I know I never had the same appreciation as when I actually tried to grow it myself. So, hope everybody has an awesome week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. I always forget to see y'all next time. Bye.